Welcome to the Whiskey Chasers, where we talk about our passion for whiskey and its history, either amongst ourselves or while interviewing distilleries, all while enjoying a glass. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris.
Please enjoy responsibly while enjoying this week's episode of the Whiskey Chasers.
What are we drinking? I'm trying to think. I was like, have I ever had a cask strength cognac? Have I ever had that?
So before we talk about what we're drinking, we are going on the spirits of Christmas, right? So we talked about the whole crap. What's this? Not Bob Marley. We talked about Bob Marley. It's
Bob Marley.
It's not Bob Marley.
It's Christmas Carol.
It's Christmas Carol.
Marley.
Yeah.
Marley? No, it was Marley. But it wasn't Bob.
But it was Bob.
Marley Craig.
Nope. Something Marley.
No, wait. It was Ebenezer Scrooge, and it was Marley, but Jacob
Marley.
There we go.
Why is it so hard to think not Bob? Not Bob.
Mar.
So we going through these spirits, right?
Yeah.
We dealt with, at this point, we have Spirit Past, which is gin, right?
Spirit
so now we're on Spirit Present, which is cognac. This is Spirit Present. And I gotta say, we've been going back and forth on like, is this past? Is this present? How does this fit?
We have been kind of, it's like driving a stick shift. Like you got to float that clutch along with a gas pedal. And which one are we doing? Is this all clutch or all gas?
I think what we're struggling with is we're thinking that somehow bourbon fits in the spirit world. And it's a baby. It's like,
when you talk about cognac and you talk about
gin,
Scotch, gin, the old world spirits, bourbon is still a little baby.
We're infinite. We might be like a toddler, maybe at this point.
Yeah, cognac's been around for a hot minute, but they're doing new things to it because cognac, like a cask strength cognac, that is not something that has been done a whole lot.
You guys have tried this briefly. I got this in Texas from a whiskey event, whiskey social event that I went to.
I tried this.
We all have. This is a 10-year-old cask strength cognac barrel pick.
Yeah, 10-year-old cognac
from
cask strength
from this whiskey social event. This
and
group
it's a barrel
pick
pick.
it.
Okay.
I don't like cognac. Dude,
I love cognac.
I don't like cognac. Oh, I don't like brandy, I should say.
I like all the yaks. Armagnac, cognac.
So the very first year that I went to this, I picked this. So I described this to Ryan because he tried it. We're walking out after a full 5-hour event of trying as much bourbon and whiskey under the world and under the sun as you
make
can.
a switch to some freaking brandy.
Hold on.
Holy cow.
So you walk out. This is in Texas. So we're talking 10 o'clock at night. You walking out and the doors are open. It's pitch black outside. And it is dimmer lit than this room. And you have to stand it feels like 6 feet apart from this table that you're picking all these things from, right? They have so many bottles lined up. You get to pick whatever bottle you want. When you look at this dim lit, what do you see? Don't look at what do you see? Just the bottle shape.
Scotch.
I see.
The bottle shape.
Bottle shape. What do you see?
I would say. I mean, it's a whiskey of some
Looks
sort.
like an American single malt bottle. You said that too. Okay, good. I see the bottle and I think, ugh.
Well, I thought this will be something interesting.
Steve's
I've never tried.
Got a pants situation over there.
This.
Yeah, he's already adjusting his seat of his pants.
I got this, and we did not plan on bringing it back with us the same day or the same trip back, right? So he had to ship this to us.
He had to ship it.
He had to ship it with several other bottles
his pants.
to me.
Shipped his drawers.
And I got this.
Shipped this bottle of cognac.
And I literally sent him a picture and said, Tim, why'd you send me the wrong bottle? And he goes, no, buddy, that's the one you picked. I said, no, it's not. This is cognac. Clearly, I would not pick cognac. Chris knows me. He's like, why would you pick cognac? Clearly, I was
awfully excited.
I did not pick cognac. And he said, you surprised me too. You got that. That was you. So I picked
You'd
this.
You've also been drinking all day.
For 5 hours.
And that does look
change some things.
like an American single malt bottle.
It looks like a whiskey bottle. So I thought I got a whiskey. It looks like
one of those Virginia.
Yeah. But no, this is a 10-year-old unfiltered, uncut, cask strength cognac. Gregarious. Gregarious Grump is the name.
Which is a great name.
Just a spoiler alert. It's awesome. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We'll get into it.
Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, dude. I freaking love this. I
don't know that I've ever had cognac other than apparently I have in the past, but I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the podcast.
We've talked about it lots.
I thought we had it.
We pulled a port. the one time so we can try
I'm
a
sure I
port.
poured you some brandy of some
I don't
kind.
think
No,
so.
we've had cognac finish.
You know,
That's
I'm
it.
such a brandy guy.
But the cognac finish that we've had was Canadian. I don't think we've had
anybody
anything.
listening. We're gonna have to do the whole like, oh, it's a cognac. What's brandy? So all cognac is brandy.
Yes,
Not
there's a type of
all
brandy.
Brandy is cognac. It's just like all that old stuff. So cognac is brandy that's made in the cognac
And more
area.
superior.
Yeah. And then you have Armagnac, same diff. Yeah. And then brandy. It's all the same stuff. Basically, what it is, if you're listening and you don't know, most people do, but if you're listening, you don't know, it's fortified wine. So what they're doing is they're taking wine that's made in these areas and they're distilling that shit. Like, and what a cool idea, right? And for somebody who doesn't really drink a whole lot of wine, I do love my brandy. It is good stuff. But I mean, it is a spirit. It's foolproof. This one's more than foolproof. But it's wine, and that's why you get the grape, and you get the stone fruit, and you get all the different, fig, and you can get so many different types of different flavors. But it is a spirit. A lot of people think they think it's like a liqueur. Or something.
Yeah.
No, it is a full
It's a full
spirit.
spirit.
It's
Oh,
just
this is full.
It's distilled wine. They take wine and they distill that shit. They take something that's already alcoholic. They distill it. I love that idea. Like that is so cool to me. Something that's already finished, like a finished product. And they distill that shit. That's awesome to me. That's like twice baked potatoes. Yes and yes.
Okay,
please.
so we're dealing with twice baked potatoes. How do you pick a pipe tobacco for this?
Well, okay. So this is a special cognac, and I am picking a special tobacco. This is a tobacco I have had, but it has been a long time. Okay, this is Hearth and Home, which is no more. Basically,
Hearth and Home?
Hearth and Home was Russ Ouellette from Pipes and Cigars. It created this brand, Hearth and Home, which still the brand's still a thing, but they were basically sourcing from Sutliff and whatnot. So now Sutliff's gone, they're done. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. But the stuff that they were making right now, they're not making. So, but Hearth and Home, Russ Ouellette, if anybody knows in the pipe world, Russ Ouellette is like one of the master blenders. He's kind of like Booker No. You know what I mean? Like he's like one of the guys that you're like, oh, if somebody knows how to blend a tobacco, it's Russ Ouellette. The dude knows what he's talking about. He's pieced together blends from old days that nobody knew how to do based on literally palate. The dude knows what he's talking about. Anyway, he's made a lot of great blends. He has this brand, Hearth and Home. He made a blend a while back called Magnum Opus. So it is his take on the best English ever. So Magnum Opus, if anybody knows what that means, it's like your triumph, right? This is my thing. The dude's made a lot of blends that people are like, this stuff is pretty spectacular. Like he's the Picasso of freaking pipe tobacco, right? So this is his Magnum Opus. Okay, this is his English. For whatever reason, after a couple of years of having this out, Magnum Opus, he just changed the name to Magnum. Poor move for whatever reason. Yeah. Then they quit making it all together. Poor move. Now they quit making Hearth and Home blends in general. So even just getting Hearth and Home is pretty impossible. Getting this blend in Magnum would be impossible. Getting this blend in Magnum Opus, like this one says, literally impossible. So we are going to open up a tin that is no longer like it is no
like
longer
done.
This is like a dinosaur. We're going to open this, and it's got age on it. This has got like this was like 2016.
This fits
has
this bottle.
age on it. Yes.
I can't get this anymore once
Yeah,
it's done.
this is a one-off.
Yeah.
This bottle is a one-off. This tin is a one-off. We're going to open it. We're going to smoke the shit out of it.
You know what? I feel like that fits the spirit
Yeah.
of present.
Exactly.
We are all about.
We're living in the moment.
We are living in the moment.
I've been saving and saving and saving and saving this tin. It's been staring me in the eye, and I love this artwork. It's very basic, but it's like very Magnum Opus. Like this is one of those things. Like if you're an English smoker, and I've had this before, it's amazing. But this could be your blend. You know what I mean? And I love that. Like, and it's quality made. Like it's made with high end materials. So I always thought that like this could be my blend. So they quit making that stuff. So we're about to verge the path not taken, right? You got two paths in a yellow wood. We're about to go the path not taken. And once I open this bad boy, this is the last one I have. And I haven't had it in a long time because I've been saving it. Today's the day. We're living in the present. We're living in the moment. We're going to do it.
Unlike Bob Marley, we're going to live in the present. Jacob Marley.
Let me see if I can do this with my bare hands. No, I can't.
Manhandle it. Come on.
Yeah, normally Steve gives it to me. Give it to me, Steve. That's right. I knew it.
Oh
man, it's tight. It's got some age on it. Oh yeah, you can't hear it, but it is tight, dude. Yeah, I had a hard time opening it. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that, dude. Look how much dirt's on there, or oxidation.
So we've recently had a podcast out about talking about Thanksgiving and memories, and the idea that we may never get these bottles again, but that's fine. That's Christmas present. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like that is.
Just living in the moment.
Living in the moment.
Not saving this for later.
You never know. You just never know what tomorrow's going to bring, right? Yeah.
Sorry, is that paper black on purpose, or is that white to begin with?
I think it was white.
Wow.
And you see there's white. The white specks are.
What the heck?
Do you know roughly
bloom.
how old this is?
Like I said, they quit making the Magnum Opus and just changed it to Magnum like 10 years ago. Like this has got some age on it.
So this has got some age.
Yeah. This has got some age on it. And look how freaking dark it is.
Yeah, that's super dark.
And for a coin tin, this is pretty dry. So I mean that'll tell you heard it pop. So
yeah, it is.
You know this has got some age on it. Oh yeah. Let me fluff it.
Yeah,
this thing's gonna light up like a freaking
get a fire extinguisher in here just in case.
Oh my gosh. That smells really good.
So I couldn't find a whole lot on Gregarious Grump. I wanted to mainly just look up what cognac was and talk a little bit just about cognac.
I ruined it, Steve.
No, that's okay.
Gave you the
that's all right.
dry.
You gave us the short
Doesn't that
version.
smell amazing? Dude, that smells like cologne you want to put on.
Dude, this will go so well with that cognac.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a great pairing. And I'm gonna bust out a meerschaum for this. I'm gonna do it.
Look at you!
I'm getting fancy with it.
Well, I wondered how well you'd find the Gregarious Grump after seeing that it was a pick. I don't know who that. I've never seen the company.
So it is. They have their own small business, but if you do a Google search and go to Houston, Texas, and look up Gregarious Grump's Spirits, which I think is what's on the back of that bottle, it's permanently closed.
So it's gone.
I believe this company is
which wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
for something that we're trying as the present, you cannot get
it's awful past.
but it's awful past. But we are living in the moment, so we're gonna enjoy these things.
That's right. But that's part of what the current is. The present is.
It's kind of the present.
Not thinking about tomorrow.
This is your only time to do it.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Here you go. I'm gonna have you hand that to Steve instead of throwing it. No, I didn't want to package it all the way up. Look at that reach. You reached right around that microphone there.
6'7".
6'7".
6 or 7 inches.
So, funny thing. So Ryan and I had a conversation about Brandy and Cognac, and Chris, I'm sorry, I might have brought him to the dark side. So you have this theory that Brandy and Cognac are one and the same, made in different places, and Brandy's more superior than Cognac. And I have an argument.
No, Cognac's more superior than Brandy.
Well, the way you've talked about it has been the opposite.
Well, Brandy's just a thing. Cognac's a specialized version of that thing.
Right, but the way that you talk about it, for you personally, Brandy's better than Cognac. You prefer Brandy over Cognac.
I just say Brandy because that's what it is. Like I'm not going to say Highland, like I like Highland whiskey. I'm just going to say I like Scotch. Right.
So we had this conversation that I believe that Cognac is 1,000 times, if not 1,000,000 times, better than Brandy.
In the way that tequila is better than
mezcal.
That's the same thing.
No, in the sense that white wine is better than red wine.
So you're you're conflating two different things.
Yeah.
No, Cognac is brandy.
But white wine and red wine are the same thing as like chicken and steak.
They are technically both wine.
They're both meat.
Right.
But they're not.
But they're different types of meat.
Grapes.
So that's Cognac
would you
and Brandy.
agree with the chicken and the steak and the white wine and the red wine? That's
what you drink with it, or we eat with it. No, Cognac.
I think mezcal and tequila and Brandy and Cognac are the same thing.
You can say Cognac is better than most brandies
because it's specialized.
That's okay, because it's a specialized. It's a special kind of brandy.
Now, Armagnac, I think, is just. I've just never had a whole lot of Armagnac, so I can't say one way or the other. It's just brandy. Brandy's great. I love brandy, but the best brandies I've had are cognacs,
and it's the white wine and red wine.
But I guess brandy could be made with white wine and red wine.
It's wine, right?
Is cognac made with white and red?
No, just white.
Only white.
I'm
white only. So you're assuming.
Okay. So here's the assumption.
So
this is why I'm assuming this. We had the Bren 10, the French single malt, that was made with champagne yeast and aged or finished in cognac barrels. That has a significantly different taste than any brandy I've ever had. Is it just because it's champagne yeast? But is it just because it's champagne yeast?
I will say this. Brandies do vary.
But brandies
a
are
lot more than I would say there's more variation in brandies than there are bourbon.
So why are brandies dark red and cognacs bright white?
I don't know if you can say there always are. And also it changes with the barrel. They use different barrels. They don't have to put it in the same barrel every time. Like they use different barrels. They finish in different ways. There's different ages. Okay. Like I don't know.
But is there chance?
This one has how much age on it?
10 years.
And look how light it is.
Right.
Light as shit. Now, I've had cognacs that are dark.
There are six different cognac regions.
In Cognac, France?
Yeah, in Cognac, France. So brandy is all over France. There are 6 regions in Cognac, France that make brandies.
Do they make it from red and white?
They do.
There you go. There you go.
Crap.
So suck on that. Yeah. Yeah, that whole argument just went right down the crapper. Now, if you're going to ask me
6 different regions.
I will say, if you're going to ask me, do I like brandy made with white wine or red wine? I don't know.
No,
that's a good question.
I guess my question is, which is superior, cognac or brandy?
Well, cognac's a specialized version of brandy, so I would always say cognac. That's like saying, whiskey or bourbon, really, because I mean, American whiskey, might not have.
So, are you comparing brandy to moonshine?
Well, okay, which one's better, bourbon? Like just on face value, bourbon or bottled and bond bourbon?
Bottled and bond,
because it's specialized. You're getting certain things. With cognac, you're getting a specialized version of the spirit. It's made in this area, which means it probably adheres to certain things and they have different things. And it's good because you've had things from that area before, right? It makes it more specialty. It's a subset of that thing. So a bottle and bond is a subset of that thing that's regulated. Probably going to have a good product here. You know what I mean? So cognac, is going to be good because it's brandy that's specialized. Because there's a lot of brandy out there. Some of it's probably shit.
Also, 2 of those regions are champagne regions also. So there's also 2, there's cognac champagne.
Yeah. If you make bubbly champagne, if you make champagne outside of that area, it's got to be called sparkling wine. It can't be called champagne. Same stuff.
So what would you say is more old world? Cognac or brandy? Well, because as I understand it, brandy came about because of
I have a feeling brandy was originated in cognac areas, probably, right? Maybe, I don't know.
So if
not, they perfected it.
Cognac is all white wine.
Oh!
Damn it, Steve!
Sorry. The white wine used in making cognac is very dry, acidic, and thin.
Yes.
Thought to be basically undrinkable.
Yes.
So wait, you're saying that they don't use red wine for cognac?
The white wine must be made from these guys. You
realize you just 100% made Nick 100% right.
I know, and I'm so sorry.
You completely effed me over, Steve. Yes. That changes everything.
But can you not tell the flavor?
No, wait.
Can you not tell the flavor?
Nick, you are right. If that is the case, then there is a superior brandy, and it's white wine brandy. Yeah, it's brandy made with white wine, which is cognac brandy. Now, all of a sudden, I realize, yes, there is a superior version. It is cognac. I was wrong, and that is not cool. And brandy made from red wine is inferior. Yes, you are right. Which is funny because if I drink wine, I like red, not white.
If you drink brandy, you prefer brandy. You don't prefer cognac.
I love cognacs.
But here's what I love. So we're talking about the spirit of present. If you're in the moment, so before we went to Liberty Pole, PA, all that fun jazz, I spent the night here. And I got here and Chris goes, I feel like a cognac. Okay, I feel like a brandy. And whatever we pulled down was straight brandy. It was dark.
It was not cognac.
I had a glass, maybe a half, and I was done. And Chris had 3 to my 1.5.
Yeah, I do like brandy.
Living in the moment, Chris, you prefer brandy. You prefer the sweeter. You don't prefer the dry.
I didn't do
Going back to our Thanksgiving episode, he preferred it that night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I need more brandy. I need to find out brandy or cognac. We need more. We need more sample.
So here's what I love about your theory, Chris. About we have to do the spirits of Christmas,
Hennessy,
which is brandy.
Is that brandy? Is that not cognac?
Hennessy is brandy.
Hennessy is brandy.
Hennessy is
But
brandy.
here's what I also love.
But I do like cognac.
We talked about the Thanksgiving episode. The bottles have a memory, right? You have a specific. If you don't have it out there right now, you've gone through several bottles of Armagnac.
I have. Yeah.
Why?
Because I like it.
No, there's another reason. Someone was over and got this bottle and said this is what was kind of the family thing, or grandma drank it.
Oh, yeah.
It was your dad.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And I've never seen that bottle to save my life.
Nobody, you
But
don't see it very
somehow you
often.
find it.
I find it, and I like it. Yeah.
There we go. We maybe not just whiskey has that. Maybe spirits have that outside of vodka.
And that is a brandy. That is not a cognac.
I think sipping whiskey or sipping
spirits have that tie. Yeah. So you live in the present to say this. Once the brandy's gone, it's gone. I have a bottle of brandy. This will date the club and us. I have a bottle of brandy that was maybe 2019, maybe 2020. Copper and Kings. American brandy finished in Peerless rye barrels. A limited release. Chris and I found the last 2 bottles ever to exist. That we know of.
In the world, probably. We both bought them.
Yeah, and before the interview, I sent him a text saying, "Hey, should I bring this or have this?" That was the original. Should we drink this the night before? And he said, "I don't have that bottle anymore." How do you not have that bottle? I can't get that bottle. That bottle stays on the shelf. Like that's a
drank
special
that
thing.
shit. Yeah.
You live in the present. You live in the present, and I love that
bottle.
Yeah,
that was a great bottle.
But if we're talking about this idea of living in the present, feel like this fits. Cognac brandy fits with living in the present.
It does, because they can, if anybody's wondering, a lot of people haven't dabbled into brandy.
It's got some interesting connotations.
There's not many on the shelf. And then there's more behind the counter, and then there's more you'll never see. But brandy goes from like pretty cheap to very expensive behind the counter to ungodly expensive, like if you could ever find it. It goes from like you can buy like a few bottles for like $40, and then you look behind the counter, you're like, that's a $700 bottle of brandy, and then you're like, okay, those are tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It just gets insane. There's not a whole lot of middle road brandies out there, so a lot of people don't F with it. You know what I mean? So to your point, Nick, a good brandy is gonna be expensive. Like you're not like a cheap brandy is just cheap brandy, but a good brandy is going to be expensive, and it is one of those things that typically doesn't last. You open it up and drink it.
Yeah, and to that point, do you know how much you paid for this?
How much I pay? That's a tricky question because I bought a ticket for the event and then I got this.
Well, and this was a one-off.
Was this part of it?
Okay. Yeah.
So when I looked online and found this bottle, just their regular version, not a kind of a store pick or whatever else, it was 150. So I would guess that this would be 250, 300,
it's a
whatever.
10-year-old cognac.
And limited at that.
And limited. So, 150 is kind of your. Now, I feel like thinking about it as a 10-year cast strength, that seems like a pretty reasonable price. I would have thought it would be more, to be honest.
People have an issue paying that much money for a non.
Like you said, because it's brandy, I assumed it would be more because like you said, brandy's either $10 or 10,000. Like there's not a lot in between.
And for some reason, people think that it's not like a foolproof liquor.
Yeah,
I don't know why
it's cheap, and they think
that it's a liqueur, and they're like, why would I spend $250 on a bottle of a liqueur?
I think it's because people they assume that you don't sip this.
This is totally sippable.
This is a like one and done kind of night.
When you hear there is some negativity around brandy. Yeah. Because there's some cheap ass brandy out there. Yeah. And it's been wrapped about things. And people think it's what's funny is people think of brandy as a low class drink. It's actually a very high class drink.
It was originated very
drink
high
it
class,
and you smoke cigar. I mean, you smoke a $30 cigar and you drink a brandy. You know what I mean? Like that's a very good night. That's not a cheap night. I've had nights like that, and it's not a cheap night.
Right. But instead, you think about Hennessy or Jerk.
Yeah, Ian J.
So you think about these low end brandies, and you don't really think about the more expensive brands that are out there. What is it, Louis
Vuitton? Not Louis Vuitton.
Louis 14 or Louis 17 or Louis something.
They deck out some of this shit too. I mean, you get diamond encrusted or diamond bottles.
That's what the Louis bottle is. That's diamond encrusted.
Yeah, they have some that are like millions of dollars.
Yeah, a friend of mine bartended at a place that had it, and they had to weigh that when they served it.
And the bottle itself, you can take to a jeweler,
and that's the thing. They watch those bottles pretty good because when that bottle was empty, nobody was allowed to dump that out.
Worth money. It's still worth money.
What's fascinating to me is cognac, brandy, that whole sect, right? That it's one and the same, I would agree, but they're branches out to something different. But when you get into like high-end Armagnac, not even high-end, just Armagnac, brandy, and cognac, that three sect, that was made for kings.
Right. Well, here...
And they drank that right away.
Let me let you in on a little insight to why I think brandy is so cool. And this is the nerd side of me, okay?
Yeah.
This is the only spirit that can do this, by the way. But you take a 42-year-old Scotch, whatever. Okay, cool. Wow, that's amazing. You made 42 years ago, you made that shit, right? What you can do with brandy, you cannot do with Scotch. You can't do it with any other spirit. Imagine taking wine that's 42 years old
and distilling it down.
And then aging that shit for 42 years. And they do that stuff.
Is that 84 years at that point?
Dude, they do that stuff. Imagine taking a wine that has age on it. And wine actually gets better in the bottle with age. A rare wine with age on it. And then distilling that and then aging it on top of it. They do that stuff. You can't find that with any other spirit. That is quite freaking historical thing in a bottle.
But that also is, again, living in the present.
Yeah.
That is a moment
still
of
meant to be used and drank and shared. Yeah. Actually, by the time that bottle hits, that barrel hits the bottle, it's ready to drink. Because it's not going to age any more than that. And it might have a whole lot of time aged, but it's ready to be used.
I feel like wine and brandy is good for the present like that because we talked about whiskey being a good memory capsule and like bringing it back and thinking back on the past, on these different things, whatever it may be. But with wine or and probably with brandy as well, it is more of this is the only one. Like when this case is gone, it's gone. And you're going to drink a whole bottle. Yeah, like you're not going to hold it. You can't hold on to it for a few weeks. Like this bottle is meant to be drinking today.
Wine is meant to be drank that moment.
Bob and Rosemary used to take us up to Michigan Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we'd always have
for a meal.
At
friends, family friends.
And we would have wine. That was one of the only times.
And a huge meal and just family fun. It was the most fun ever.
But that was one of the only times I remember outside of maybe Thanksgiving that I remember Bob getting wine for that.
Yeah.
I remember everyone
ate a cocktail.
Yes. And it was for that moment.
And
it was
he got excited. Everybody got excited. For me, that was the first and only time I ever experienced anything like that. Because I didn't grow up with family like that. Like we didn't have cousins and grandparents and stuff. So actually that is kind of a bittersweet memory for me because we don't go there anymore. Yeah. But for me, that was like the only taste of like a family get together I ever had.
Do you remember the blueberry wine?
We did that every day. Oh yeah. We did it every year.
Chris and I finished.
We would get hammered.
Chris and I finished at least a bottle, maybe a bottle and a half of blueberry wine, dessert wine by ourselves. And
that goes down very quick, very easily.
And I'm not a wine drinker. But their
cocktails
idea, we're talking like Italian family. So like wine is their thing. But like you don't leave the house without the wine bottles being finished.
You don't cork it and go home.
No. That is to drink and finish.
You run out.
Yeah, you talk about brandy, cognac being wine, distilled wine. In that culture, it's of the present. We finish it. We don't cork it. We share it. Yeah. This is it. The bottle's not the memory. The bottle's not the moment. The time spent around the bottle.
It goes back to my thing. Yeah. It's the catalyst.
Yeah, my in-laws, we will get together on Thanksgiving, and we always they get some French wine for Thanksgiving, and it's a Beaujolais is what it's called.
That's a fancy wine.
It's a very fancy
bougie.
wine. It's a very bougie.
Beaujolais.
Beaujolais.
My sister-in-law is a pretty big wine drinker, and she will go around to wineries and stuff and do all that.
She sniffs the hell out of that glass. Yeah. She's got the one nostril in.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, we get together for Thanksgiving, and we always have that. Yeah. I grew up with homemade wine of grandma's.
What like crushed with their own feet?
Yeah, like
that is hardcore.
My grandma made wine, and I'm the only one in the family that ever continued to make wine. And
I still make wine
on occasion.
Do you step on it?
No. So I don't make grape wine.
Oh, you make counter wine?
I make counter wine. Yeah.
Well, is that like prison wine?
It's a step up.
So here's the thing. So
he didn't say no.
When Grandma made wine, there are only 3 ingredients: sugar, fruit, and water. And it's in a gallon pickle jar.
Yeast
and it just no
ferments
yeast added or anything. It's usually strawberry. That was a popular one. But it's
like taking apple cider and just letting it sit.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. Which means there's no control. That takes a
lot of checking on it.
There's no control. So there is no like she never knew what the percentage the ABV was.
It could be like 170.
She never had a thing to check it.
But sugar and water will eventually.
It just eventually
do its thing with a little bit of sugar. Yeah, fruit.
You need the fruit to make it, and then the fruit has natural yeast inside of it, so it just makes it. I thought
you had to use some yeast.
No, the fruit's natural,
like apple cider.
Yeah, that's how meat starts. Yeah,
but that's sitting for a hot minute.
It was about a month.
Really? That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
On the counter.
We're always like, oh, how do these people figure out alcohol? They just drink some bad shit. They literally found out alcohol by drinking some bad fruit.
This
fruit
is rotten
juice.
fruit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's fucking us up. Yeah,
like so. No, it's in a gallon glass pickle jar.
They weren't scientists
with a coffee filter wrapped on top of it to keep the bugs out.
Okay,
and that's it.
Hey, how about we make our own?
Oh, well, for sure.
Let's do it.
Here's the thing with it though. Like I said, here's the
we should try it.
There's no way to control it.
To drink it.
So she would just try it every day, and if it tasted right. Then you put it in the fridge.
Did you get halfway down?
Well, just a little bit, yeah.
Dude,
that halfway down the container. That's good. Let's put it in.
If it's not alcohol, it's going to make her live longer, probably. It's probably still healthy.
So she takes it till it's ready, whenever that is, and then you put it in the fridge. Because if you put it in the fridge, it stops. It stops. So then you had to keep it in the fridge after that. So I did that. I eventually was like, I think I might add just a little bit of modern science to this and like get a thing to at least see what the ABV is. Maybe add some yeast, try to like make real wine.
So you could really leave out some like grape juice.
Yeah, that's all it is.
In like prison. And like that would eventually become.
Sure. In prison, but in the kitchen, wherever you want to
By the time they're done. Yeah.
Would it make you sick though? If like.
No. Because it breaks down. It eats itself to break down to
makes
alcohol.
You think that that's just nuts.
The fruit is rotting, which is making yeast.
So God made alcohol.
Dude, sure.
Chris, you
God
eat
made
blue
everything,
cheese.
didn't he?
No, but think about it. Yeah,
Chris,
but think about it.
Like
we're
cheese.
always talking about this stuff, but like he literally made this stuff to like become this stuff.
How are you just figuring this
out?
out?
And he knew we were going to drink this stuff.
You eat blue cheese, right?
Yeah, I love blue cheese.
Blue cheese is molded cheese.
I know that.
Moldy cheese.
I love cottage cheese, which is curdled cheese. I love all the bad cheeses.
Right. Yeah. So think about alcohol. All the curdled fruit is just alcohol.
You think when you think alcohol, you think man perverted something that maybe God. No, God actually made it that way to like become that.
Yeast is just mold.
That's amazing.
And so it's just then the sugar eats the yeast, poops out alcohol. That's how it works.
I love it.
Defecate.
Yeah, that's great. They defecate. Nature defecates alcohol. I'm gonna make a shirt. That's it.
Cognac.
That's it.
Yeah, cognac is just defecated nature.
But so like that's the wine I grew up with, which is incredibly sweet.
I want to try that
fruit-based wine.
Not foot stomped.
Not foot stomped.
Very meticulously watched every day by Steve, and then put in the fridge with loving care when it was ready to go in there. I want to try that.
I
wine.
will share some bad news with you on this method.
You had a bad.
Ants.
Ants.
Ants. So because it's sugar water on a counter, of course ants are going to want it. So I came home one day and I turned on the lights, or before I turned on the lights, I looked and I was like, things are wrong. Things are moving.
Something's not right.
I don't get it. And I turned on the lights and it is like caked with ants. like ants.
That's an infestation.
All like a true infestation going through this. So I got some taro, which is the best thing to get rid of ants.
But not good
taro
for
is the
wine.
best. So I thought, and I put a little drop down or whatever, and they came, and like it was gone. Like they drank it all up. So like this group, so I thought this is kind of fun, and I wrote my name in cursive in taro, and I got a picture of my name written in ants, which is kind of cool.
You never become more sadistic than when you, because you're like, eat it and go back to your family and kill everybody.
all of them.
You become like a literal terrible person. When you really think about insects, you're like, I want you to not die
I want you to
I want you
kill
to go
your
back
family.
and infect everybody. And I want you all to suffer so horribly. You never enter my house again. You become the worst person ever when it comes to insects.
I learned after that to put it in a cookie tray full of water, because that way they can't get to it. And then they went away. So that solved that problem. Even though I had a coffee filter with a rubber band around it, that was not enough to keep the ants
I
out.
love how sophisticated that is. That literally
know,
sounds
right?
like prison wine.
Short of sitting in the toilet, we were good
I
to
made
go.
spaghetti
I
today
did
with
do
my
it in-
ramen.
yes, I made it in an old pickle jar instead of a toilet. That's
Ramen
the only
noodles and
difference.
hot sauce packets is my spaghetti.
So that's the prison wine nonsense that I had as a child.
I'll try it because it's not foot stomped, bacteria, ant infested. Yeah.
That was my 16th birthday present from my grandma. Was learning how to make wine, going to grandma's house for the weekend and learning how to
That's
do it.
great, dude.
It was a great birthday present. But yeah, so that was the cheap nonsense wine I had growing up. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, wine's gross.
Wine is kind of gross.
Unless
do
you're
not have the
Italian, I
palate
guess.
for it.
I mean, you can have other things, and it gives me a headache. It really gives me a headache.
Yeah, I had a wine moment where I tried to like wine and tried to go through different ones. And I do like, there are like, I can get by on
The
it.
people that are
but
really big into wines
I'm not a
smell their own
big
farts.
into wine.
They do. They're like, that's
Or don't
healthy.
realize they farted.
I'm getting awful close to enlightenment. Yeah, that's when you're really into wine, you're really into your own flatulence. Like really like you've gone beyond pretentious and you're in a whole new realm of I don't know what
Is
it
that
is.
because you like your sulfates?
But if you distill it
It's
again,
something. It's something.
if you if you distill it though,
Yeah, but you
Now-
distill it. Now you're doing something cool.
now you're doing something cool.
Now we're in the present. We're cool. So the idea of the present, right? So the wine, it's living in the moment.
It is, yes.
It really
Because
is.
once it's gone, it's gone. There is no like when we talk about these bottles, we're talking about the memories created in the past or memories thought of. With the wine, the wine is the memory. Like that's
Planning for the future,
Yeah,
knowing that this is going to be gone
So
in the present. Yeah,
Wine is the only spirit, maybe cognac and brandy, that anyone can say, I can fit a whole bottle in a Yeti container and drink it all day long, and no one goes, oh, you alcoholic. They go, oh, that's normal.
yeah.
I drink a whole bottle, it's fine.
There's wine
But
glasses that are the size
if we
of a
split
bottle.
a bottle of bourbon, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Well, the alcohol content is different.
It's different,
To-
yeah.
to be fair, the volume of if you were to drink a whole bottle of booze and a whole bottle of wine, there are a few different things.
They are different.
Scientifically,
But
there's
it's
a
the
different
idea
thing.
of like, I'm living in the moment.
For me, a brandy is an amplified wine. So, like, really, like you have sirloin steak, which is not bad by any means, but an aged fillet, medium rare, Oscar style. You bet your sweet tatas.
Some little bit of lobster.
Yeah, that's lobster. Yeah, Oscar style is a little bit of crab. A little bit of crab, Bernice sauce. You bet your sweet. Yeah, you bet your Billy Club there. I mean, but they're both meat. They're both meat. But the one is just sirloin. I mean, come on. So, I mean, a brandy is really wine elevated. I mean, and wine has its place. Anymore doesn't have a place in my home. You know what I mean? I could drink wine with this meal, or right, I could drink an actual spirit. You know, like why wouldn't I? Like candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a fact.
So how does this fit in with the Christmas Carol? Right, Christmas of the present was Jacob Marley and
It was
Cratchit.
basically like, this is your life now. This is how you're effing it up. This is how you could potentially improve it, knowing what you know that's actually going on currently. The future is like you already done fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it's done and over
The
with.
Christmas present was going to Crankett's house.
Yeah, Crockett, not David,
Not Critchett.
Davy, Critchett, Cratchit.
There we go, Cratchit.
Not Crockett, not Davy, not the Alamo.
Yeah, going to Cratchit's house, seeing little Timmy, seeing how thankful they were with how little they had.
Future is specifically if
Death.
you continue on the path you are now, this is what it's going to be.
Perfect.
The present was an opportunity to him to see what he is seeing, what he's not seeing, and these are the things you could change. But future was very much
if you don't change, this is what's gonna happen.
like if nothing happens, you just keep going on. This is what's going to happen. So present was really the most opportunity to open his eyes.
Thank you. Okay, so I've got a question for you guys. We're living in the present, right? The spirit of present.
We're living in the moment.
If I were to ask, this tobacco and this glass.
I think it's great.
This is something that you have never opened. You've held on for a while. You guys are living in the present, in the moment.
I mean, I will speak first because I have not been smoking many Englishes lately.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I maybe appreciate it even more than most people that are pipe smokers because I have taken a bit of a hiatus from English.
Yeah.
And this is one of the English blends that you would be lucky to have. It's not behaving in my pipe super well, but for all that, the flavor is quite extraordinary. It's pretty matured, full flavored without being overpowering. It's not harsh. It's not harsh. I just think it pairs well. But I think English tobacco and cigars pair very well with a brandy or a cognac. And I've tried brandy and cognac with like a burley tobacco or an aromatic tobacco, and it is just not.
No, it's too easy going. I think.
It is not good. With a brandy, you really need some body. You need to be voluptuous. You need to be the girl from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like all them curves, that's what you need. You need that. You know what I mean? So you really need a full-bodied Maduro cigar. Even a Connecticut doesn't do most of the time. Like a good Maduro cigar, which is a dark leaf cigar, or a strong English or matured English. This is a matured English.
I was going to say, like you, I don't think it's behaving super well in my pipe. It's definitely not staying lit the way some other ones do. But flavor-wise, you're right. It's very full-bodied. And I don't know much about cognac and stuff, but based on just the little bit of just having this one, I can see why like a burley or something would work because you want something to build on. You want something bigger, and in English is good for that. One downside, and this is, so I'm not very good at living in the present. I'm very bad at being present. I am always looking to the future and thinking about the future or thinking about the past, but I'm very bad at sitting in the present. So because of that, my immediate thought is I would like to have more of this in the future. And I think about that. And then I'm a little bit like, that's too bad. Like this is no more. Yeah. And so, which is a little bit disappointing.
That FOMO a little bit kicks in.
Yeah, a little bit of that. So with the cognac, I'm like, okay, I can't have this again, but I can have some kind of interesting cognacs. I can maybe look for other ones or whatever else. With the Magnum Opus, this is kind of the end. Like this guy isn't around anymore, or is he around anymore? Yeah.
Even if you could find something, it would just say Magnum. Yeah. And you can't even find that. Yeah.
That fits with the company.
It fits very well with the bottle.
It does. So their stories go hand in hand very well because of that. But because I'm not very good at living in the present, I get a little bit upset about it.
And what's funny is to speak to that, what you just said almost proves the point. Because that is exactly what that's why Nick and I cannot open up a bottle that is so good and not finish it. Because we want to get every drop out of it. And by the time we're done with it, usually it's like closing the book. If you're a big reader, you know what I'm talking about. Either whether it's one book or it's a series of books, but when you get to the end of the conclusion of a very large story, Harry Potter for some people, Chronicles of Narnia. For me, it's any big series. when I get to the end and I'm like, there is no more. There's no more. I'm about to read the last few words. It's very like sad, and there's a lot of different feelings. And you can get to that where you're like, I want more. But usually by the end of that, you're kind of resigned. It's kind of like a person that actually lives to the ripe old age of 80 or 90 or whatever it is, and they're finally ready and they close their eyes and to go on. They had enough. That is why me and Nick will sit in a bottle until it's gone. And I can't, this is one of those bottles that I couldn't drink some and put it away. No. You need to get enough out of it that when you dump it in the trash, when you turn it over, you kill the bottle, you're happy because you actually indulged in that bottle. You took it for all it was worth. There is no more. The ride is over. Get off. You passed go. You actually did collect $200. All of it. It's done. It's over with. Sometimes a good finale is better than no finale at all, right? And I think that's living in the present. So speaking to what you're saying, Steve, you can look at it from either side. And I think when you're on the one side, you can look at it one way, but when you're on the other side, you look at it a different way. It's just like when you take a ride. It's always longer to get there than it is to get back. You ever notice that? I mean, that's what it is. It depends on your perspective. That's why we love killing a bottle together. It's such a cathartic thing.
I also think that's why gin fits the past. You never want to finish a bottle of gin.
It always leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, but
I've never been satisfied.
But you never finish a whole bottle and be like, oh, we have to sit down and finish one,
I've never been like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to bed. You know what I mean?
This fits most whiskeys. I think that's why we think whiskey for the present. But this fits that idea of...
It satiates.
It satiates, but it's also that idea of like, it tells a story. I don't know anyone that wants to put a book down halfway through and go, cannot wait to go back.
It's like skipping ahead to the end.
They just never put it down, right? They always want to keep reading, because they're in the moment. They're in the present. They want to finish, right? Those that put it down are like, I can come back to that. When you have a moment, when you have time.
It's not that compelling. Is it really in the like? You're really into it right now.
Are you really into it right now?
A lot of times you put something down thinking in the future, right? But in the moment, I can't stop.
Yep,
I cannot stop.
And I think that was the whole idea behind the Spirit of Christmas Present was like, what are you missing out on? What is it that you're missing out
right now? Yeah. What could you do right now that would change the future?
Right. Like you're spacing on this. You're not looking at this. You're not paying attention to this, right?
Because that's what he sees. He sees Tiny Tim in his current state, and then he sees later, well, if you did nothing, he dies. That's him. Yeah. So really, it's like in the moment, what could you do now that might prevent that or change that outcome? Right. That's what the whole. I mean, and that's the thing when you read that story. The ghost of present, which is funny because that's not really a ghost at all. That's just what's happening right now.
Oh, how does that become a ghost?
It's the most important thing because sure, the past gives you perspective, the future gives you insight, but the present gives you the ability and the option and the chance to change things. Present's where the power is, and nobody ever thinks about that. It's always down the road, or thinking back. But the present, we don't live our lives. We don't make those changes. We don't actually take it by the balls. You know what I mean?
Do you think that's why Brandy and Cognac is like the king's drink? The power of the present?
Because they're in the moment. Yeah. Because they might not be king tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do
you think that's why? I mean, think about all the other spirits. We don't have a spirit that's like...
And it's so valuable. And they're doing it in the moment. Yeah. That's the case. I mean, smoke all your Penzance.
So
smoke them if you got them.
We haven't talked about this, Chris. So cognac being the superior white grape brandy.
He's just rubbing it in. At this point, we both messed up.
What do you think about this guy?
I do like cognac, but I will say so what Nick is referring to, we've had plenty of conversations where I've said, this brandy's great or that brandy's great. I think brandy in general is great. So I think Nick has always been like, well, do you really like cognac or is it just brandy?
Yeah.
And I will say that I do tend to drink darker brandies.
Yeah, that's right. It's fair.
I wonder if you might be onto something.
So what do you think about this?
I'm not even aware of myself that maybe I do like non-white wine brandies, which would be non-cognac.
Which is like the complete
which would be brandies. Which is I here's the thing. Typically cognacs are fancier. Brandies are not. Typically.
But
No, I mean, that's a hard thing to admit
well,
about
let's be
yourself.
Red
Like, what
wine
am I,
is normally fancier.
Yeah.
White wine is not.
It is, yeah.
It's the opposite of wines.
Well, white wine can be fancy. There's few times where you drink white wine. You know, fish, chicken. White wine's a little too fancy for me. I think red wine is the working man's drink. If you're eating spaghetti, which is some cheap ass shit, I mean, you're drinking red wine. You know what I mean?
Unless you got shrimp scampi.
Yeah, shrimp scampi in itself is it's a poor man's a po'
Do you go
boy
white?
sandwich would be good with a you wouldn't drink white wine with a po' boy, you know what I mean? But I do think that white wine is more of a fancy fluted glass type of a deal. That's why, have you ever seen a champagne red colored? Nope. It's always white.
It's always white.
I've never seen a dark colored champagne. What the hell is with that?
It's
What's wrong with
nothing to do
people?
with the fact that champagne grapes
You
are
can
white,
add bubbles
but
to dark wine. You could totally add bubbles to dark wine.
there is sparkling grape juice, so that's
yeah,
proof
Welch's
right
does
there.
have theirs. Yeah. I grew up on that.
But yeah, I don't know. I you might be onto something. I'm not going to commit, but could I be
try
a
some
cheap?
more.
Can I be a cheap brandy drinker? Maybe. God, I don't know.
I don't know if it's
But
cheap.
I will
it's
say I do
flavor.
like Hennessy. Hennessy gets a bad rap, but the Hennessy I like is high end. It's not cheap. There is some good Hennessy out there. When you think Henny, you're like there is some cheap Henny, but I mean that's no different than taking shots of JMO. I mean, JMO can be good on its own as well, but I mean, a lot of people sip JMO. You know what I mean? Hennessy, same thing. There are some high end Hennessy out there. Hell, there's some Hennessy that is expensive. It's good stuff. It does have a bit of a like cheap connotation. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. But it's like anything else. There's cheap versions of everything. But you're right. I mean, it's dark brandy, and I do like it. I do like dark brandy. I mean, you're not wrong
So
about
what do you
that.
think about this?
But I love this. This is great. This is very, very good. I mean, being a brandy drinker, I would like to have this all the time. I can't get it. But I mean, but is it just this, or is it the fact that, hey, this is age? Sure. Yeah. But how many cast strength brandies are out there? Not many. I guarantee if you Google it, there's not going to be a whole lot that shows up. And brandies are typically not high proof. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, because think about it, to get a wine that high proof and everything else, and then then age it that long, and everything else. I don't know. There's a whole nother science level to this that we haven't even talked about. That we kind of understand distilling wine. What the hell is that? I mean, you're taking a finished product and starting over. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing.
The regionality of cognac, and then a brandy on top of that, the regionality of the different grapes makes it so that brandy is definitely something that I think you could like be a brandy person and pick around the different types and have a region that you really like Scotch or whatever else where it's more regional. I think that matters more than whether it's a cognac or a brandy. Yeah. I think it more matters what the region is.
Where the wine came from.
Where did that wine come from? I think that matters more than anything else.
One of my harebrained crazy experimental ideas, I've told you this, Nick, and I don't know how it would work, if it's even possible, but we've talked about, there's been scotches finished in brandy and whatever else. But what if we had some sort of brandy that was Scotch-esque? That's not been done. That's not been really done though. Like a very smoky brandy. Like a very smoky, like I don't know how you'd even do that.
But I don't know where you get the
some
smoke.
sort of peated brandy. How does that work?
You couldn't do because it's grapes.
Yeah.
So you're not drying a grain.
No, it would have to be a finish.
Okay.
Of some kind.
Okay.
So I don't know how you do it. You take a very peated scotch, you put it in a barrel, then you take brandy and you put it in that barrel. That's the only way I can think of to do it. It'd be a scotch finish brandy. That's not been done. That might be disgusting. That might be barf. I don't know, but it's interesting. It's not something I've had. I've never had a smoky brandy. That's what I'm getting at. I want a smoky, peaty brandy.
I also don't know if I want a lot of smoky fruit.
But I've had a smoky scotch that was brandy finished and loved it.
Yeah.
So that makes my brain go, what's the opposite of this? Or what's the inverse of this? Yeah. I want to try it. It might be terrible. I don't know. There's things that are, I guess what I'm saying is there's things that are still not been done. Just when you think it's all been done. It hasn't been done.
But that is a problem for the future.
Yes, that's a future problem.
Ooh, that's a
In the
problem for
moment,
future.
it's
Yeah.
this.
But for right now, this is very good. And during the Christmas season, spend some time to think about the present. I
'Cause
know
it's a
I'm
gift.
bad at that. And
is
it's
a
something
gift,
I need to
yeah.
worry
It
on.
is a gift.
It is a gift. So, yeah, gentlemen, I want to tell you about the next week, but that's in the future.
That's in the future. I can't predict that.
So enjoy tonight, and hopefully you're still around for next week.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you want more great content and other perks, be sure to support the show by clicking the link in the show notes. We can be reached on our website, whiskeychaserspod.com, with any ideas for the show. Thanks again.